It's Yomi here, and welcome back to my channel. I thought that I had an intro for this, but I don't, and there's really not a set weekend for this. It's just me getting back into the field of reading. So there are some great books that I read. I don't know why I mentioned that this was kind of like a different format of reading vlog when it's just the same. I read, I update, I don't know, I think I haven't done a reading vlog in a while, that I kind of forgot how to do them. But yeah, I hope that you enjoy this video, and let's get into the first books that I read. Good morning. So today is July 15th, and I thought that I had given some kind of an update for Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo, and I noticed that I haven't. But I started reading this one and I am hooked from the beginning. Like the first 14 pages I was already emotional. And in Clap When You Land, this is roughly where we have Jahaira, who's from the United States, specifically New York, and then we have Camino, and she is from Dominican Republic, and we're gonna see how is it that both of their lives get intertwined. Like, I have an idea of something that might happen, so I don't know how that's gonna play out, but I'm really thinking that that's what's going to happen. But I'm enjoying it so much, like a novel in verse. And even though it does have, like, in the beginning of the headings, it does have who the perspective is from, but I don't even need that, because like I can tell who it is without, you know, even the name being mentioned, because they are so distinctively apart, and I'm just loving every single one of them. And what I love about Elizabeth Acevedo's books is that I can always connect to her characters, and in this one I feel it so much, especially Jahaira, because I was born in, you know, the States from Hispanic parents, and then, you know, having to come to live here in Puerto Rico. So I also understand Camino's perspective, not too much, because Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico have a little bit differences, but there are also a lot of similarities. But I can connect so much with both of these girls, and I'm just freaking enjoying this book so much. You know, it's also funny that I noticed why is it that it's called Clap When You Land, because I was writing something on Instagram, and then it's all of a sudden it came to me, and I was like, oh my god, mind blown. I know why it's called Clap When You Land. A lot of Puerto Ricans, a lot of Hispanics tend to, when they are traveling from one destination to another, especially in, you know, planes, you know, going to the airport and going from one place to another, we clap when we land at our destination, you know, giving thanks, being appreciative that we landed safely, giving thanks to the pilots, giving thanks to everyone that, you know, we got from one destination to another safe and sound. And we always clap when we land, and I was just like, oh my god, like, and now I understand the title, you know, and it's just amazing. And you know what's funny also, that I just realized that both black outlines that are there are two airplanes meeting one another. So that's crazy. And you know, I'm trying to see how is it that they're going to see one another, but like I said, I think I know how is it that their lives are going to get intertwined. And if it is, I'm just like, oh my god, I'm baffled. You know, I have to admit it, I'm mind blown. But in this one we have roughly a flight that had gone down that was traveling from the US to Dominican Republic, and a lot of people thought that it was a terrorist act, but since it wasn't, it was roughly like swept under the rug, and it, you know, it didn't make any more headlines. And you know, Elizabeth Acevedo, for my instinctions, she wants to make, you know, it known that, you know, a lot of people were lost in this flight, and, you know, the suffering of people, and also how do they cope with that, you know, how do they cope with the grief, and also find new families where they didn't expect to find new families. And I'm really enjoying this. I can't wait to get to it, and, you know, I'm freaking enjoying it. I can't wait. I hope that it starts off great and it ends just mind-blowing me the heck away, because I'm really enjoying this book. I got a little emotional when the audiobook ended, because, and also the author's note, I finished Clap When You Land. Oh my god, this is so fucking amazing. Honestly, pick it up, just read it. It is emotional. It deals with a lot of topics that, you know, are roughly about, you know, living a life that you don't know what's gonna happen in your life, especially things that surge out of you not knowing about certain things, whether it be from your family's side or whatnot, and actually discovering new families. And just, oh my god, this was so emotional. And Camino, like, I was crying for her, honestly, and I was just like, there's something in near towards the end that's really rough, and I was like, oh my gosh, she really doesn't have to go through this. Damn it, man. It was just so impactful, and just such an important read that sheds light I'm sorry, I forgot to close the door because one of my dogs is outside. But it sheds light to a lot of important topics, especially you being a female in an island where men just look at your body as an image, as a price, as something that they want to devour, and you know, you lose your innocence because of men that just think that you're an object for them. And I really do enjoy how it was shed in this book, you know, that catcalls are still relevant to both of these girls, and even though they are from different worlds, I loved how everything just sort of intertwined with each other's lives, and also how they understood that even they were from different lives, what they went through, it was sort of similar in certain forms. But I freaking love this. I can't wait. I have a lot of quotes that I really did enjoy, and also like I mentioned, the title, Clap When You Land, and you know, she mentions that Dominicans do this, but Puerto Ricans also do that. I've noticed a lot of Hispanics do clap when they land from one destination to another. And also, like, the author's note, and why is it that she decided to speak about, you know, these events that happened. Oh my god, everything was just simply amazing. The prose was just so beautiful and just so lifelike, and honestly, these two girls just popped out of the book, regardless as to whether it's a novel in verse. There is so much growth from both of them, and I'm just I'm loving this so freaking much. So honestly, if you have the time, pick up Clap When You Land, whether it be physical or an audiobook. Go to your library, go anywhere, and just take this book out, because it's just such an amazing story. And also give it to your teenagers if they're Hispanic, if they're Dominican, if you know, Puerto Rican or whatever, you know, just give it to them, because they are going to relate to a lot of things. And I'm just, oh my god, this is so beautiful. Honestly, Elizabeth Acevedo can do no wrong in my eyes, and I just hope that she keeps on dishing these great, amazing stories, because they are so important to actually include, you know, in YA literature. Hi, so I meant to update yesterday, but unfortunately I forgot. I was just really into my bullet journal spreads, and that's what I did. Then I decided to watch some movies, and that's what I stayed doing last night. I really do enjoy the way that it came out. The only thing that I don't like, it's like the washi tape. Like, I tried to take it out and it ripped the pages. This washi tape, I received it in a fairy loot box, and I don't know how I feel about it, because like, I like the bottom part, but I like the top, I don't know. I wanted to fix it, but I couldn't, so I'm just gonna leave it like that because I don't care. I'm the only one who looks at this. But I do want to place some quotes throughout the spreads, because there's some spots that are empty that I don't want to place stickers. I just want to place little quotes, so I'm gonna be working on that in a few. But I'm gonna be updating you about The Black Flamingo by Dean Attal. Oh my god, was that such an incredible and amazing and impactful read. I highly recommend people to pick that book up and to read it, because it is emotional. The prose is so lyrical and so immersive, and I honestly was tearing up, especially that epilogue. It was just magnifique. It was just so freaking beautiful. Like, I loved the book from beginning to end, and I cannot wait to buy that book to support the author, because I really want to highlight it. I want to annotate it. It was just that immersive. Here we have Michael in a coming of age story, trying to discover who he is within the world that he's roughly, you know, trying to step out of who he is. And he is a mixed race gay person living in London, and just, you know, trying to break free of all these stereotypes that people tend to place us in. I thought that was simply amazing, and there were a lot of references that I, you know, I really did enjoy, because I grew up with a lot of these things. But it was really impactful, honestly, and I loved it from the beginning to the end. And I cannot wait, honestly, to just write those beautiful quotes that were there. And also I enjoyed how the author wrote about friends that, you know, they call one another out for being racist or for saying racist comments. And that's something that I think that's amazing. You know, if you know your friend that has a racist comment, you know, say it, you know, make that be known. And it was just honestly such an amazing and impactful read, and I cannot wait for more people to read it. It was a great read, honestly. And the audiobook is simply amazing. Highly recommend it that way as well. I also don't know what I'm going to be picking up, because I would like to read Sadie, because I do have the audiobook still available on Scribd, but I don't know if I want to pick that one up, so we're gonna see. I also have to work on the lighting on this area in my room, because for some odd reason my little brother turned on the radio, so if you hear that, that's because of that. And I don't know what to do, honestly. But I right now have like the flashlight of my camera behind the flashlight of my phone behind the camera, so that's what it's illuminating. But yeah, I'm gonna decide what is it that I'm gonna read, and then I'll update you. Good afternoon. Hope you're all doing well. So today I really wanted to start reading, and yesterday I took it off. I didn't do anything. I was just in bed watching movies because it was a rainy day and it was just perfection. And I didn't want to do anything at all, just watch movies and be mesmerized by what was on my phone, which was me playing June's Journey, because I'm obsessed with that game as of right now. But today I was like, you know what? I've been on a good reading ride, so let me continue it. So I decided to pick up the audiobook for Sadie by Courtney Summers. I've heard a lot of good things about this book, so yeah, I'm just gonna read it. I also saw that there is like a different format to it, because it's sort of like texting between people, or at least a conversation between people, because that's what I see. I don't know. I've heard that it's kind of like a podcast kind of scenario. Yeah, it says Sadie is an electrifying high-stake road trip, a gripping thriller with a true crime podcast edge. So yeah, I haven't read a true crime book. I do love watching true crime dramas. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this one, and I'm gonna download the audiobook so I can start it. So this is going to be my next read. So time for a little bit of an update with the books that I'm currently reading. I decided to pick up Sadie by Courtney Summers. Last night I picked it up and I just flew by this. I'm 100 pages in, and while I'm going to admit that I'm hearing it through audio format, I freaking adore the full cast of this audiobook because it makes it so much more immersive. And I didn't know, like, I knew it was a podcast, but honestly I've never listened to podcasts, so I don't know like the structure behind that. But I really am enjoying it so far. Like, I know that it was a thriller and whatnot and a true crime, but I was just like, damn, like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? There's a lot of details given, and even though there are subtle details as to what is happening to Sadie, or what happened to Sadie and her sister, and actually you understanding and like piecing these things together and actually knowing what the hell actually happened and who is the one that's at fault, like these little bits and pieces of these true crime details are really fascinating for me. Like, I do love watching NCIS and CSI. I don't watch too much Law and Order anymore, but I do love watching it, just because, you know, everything that it goes through. Sometimes, you know, the cases that are solved and whatnot, or cases that aren't solved. So I really do enjoy watching like true crime kind of scenarios. I've never actually read one. This is the first time that I actually read one, and I have to admit that I'm really invested. And like I mentioned, the audiobook is really good, but I'm trying to see like what is it that happens, who is the one at fault. And I would have to say that the representation is also really good. Sadie does tend to stutter a lot, and I really like the audiobook because of that, because it makes those stutters and it makes those pauses, especially when Sadie is speaking and she's stuttering out. I really enjoy the way the narrator is actually voicing it. So I have to say those are really good. It is sort of, you know, kind of strong content, because like a 13-year-old girl, and knowing that, you know, she was found dead, and then her sister goes missing, trying to discover what is it that happened. And I'm really invested. I want to know what else happens to this. But so far I understand like the praise that it has behind it, because I'm 100 pages in and I'm invested. I'm hooked. I want to know what happens. So I'm just gonna continue reading, and then I'll update you a little bit later on. Okay, time for a little bit of an update with Sadie by Courtney Summers. I just finished it. What can I say aside from, wow, like, this is really, it's a raw, hard, emotional, immersive, interesting, compelling, can I say, story to read. We get basically two structures within the story of Sadie's life, Sadie's journey trying to hunt down her sister's killer, and we get the person who's investigating it in a form of a podcast as to how these events are just piecing themselves together. It's sort of like a little puzzle that I'm just putting together. and the pieces are lining up. And little by little, you get to discover things that are happening. And it's really interesting because we get Sadie's point, and then all these things happen, and that we get, you know, like the rundown, the breakdown of how was it that they came, or how was it that she came into knowing all these things and discovering the journey to this person that killed her sister. And wow, like even in the end, like, was there justice for these girls that lost their lives? In a sense, you could say yeah, because of what happened, but still, wow. I honestly, this is really hard to explain. Like, I loved it, I enjoyed it, but how do you review something that's so strong and impactful? And just, like I've mentioned before, I'm very empathetic, so I connect a lot with things that happened, and like knowing everything that happened to her and understanding her reasonings, because I was putting things together throughout the story, and then I was like, wait, this can't have been what happened. And yeah, you know, wow, it's really, really interesting. It's a strong read. Trigger warnings or content warning for pedophilia, definitely. Drug abuse. We do know through the things that happened that there was sexual abuse. So bear that in mind. And also the mention of wanting to kill someone, you know, it's there. Sort of that, you know, revenge, sort of vendetta kind of scenario. But knowing that, you know, this is a girl who lost her childhood, who lost her innocence, who was a kid, and a fucking bastard took that away from her. And her mother didn't know until something happened. Like, this is like, you know, you can call me a cynic, but I am. I really am. I always believe in a lot of things. I believe in the worst in people. And like, I have a daughter. I met a guy for a month, and I'm already gonna leave my daughter with this man? Fuck no. Like, I understand the circumstances that drove these women to actually leave their children with this man. I understand it. He was very good at disguising who he was, you know, but like, fuck no, man. Honestly, like, it's gonna take me a lot more than that to leave my daughter, my kid, my son, any kind of child that I have with someone that I just met in a month. Like, no. And I said, like I mentioned, you know, I understand the circumstances that led them to this, but still, man, these are your children. You're supposed to protect them. They're supposed to feel safe. Going through this shit of losing their innocence and everything that was robbed from them is not something that a child should face. They should live their lives without this worry. And wow, man, honestly, this was very, very emotional. It was amazing. If you can't tell, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I wanted to give it less because of that ending, but I think it was told right, especially with those little final details leading up to the event. We do know that in the end, maybe she did get her revenge, but I don't think that her journey was a good one, you know? I think she knew deep down that it was going to be the end, you know? And wow, that's fucked up, honestly. But I really enjoyed this. Sadie by Courtney Summers. I don't know why I keep on wanting to say Courtney Alameda, but Courtney Summers. I will definitely be reading more young adult thrillers, but when it's something like this, I'm gonna look into content warning, because like I said, this got me a little bit emotional, you know. But these are great reads, important reads, and I think, you know, understanding the content warning little by little, you should delve into it. And the audiobook, I think I mentioned this in a previous clip, the audiobook is freaking amazing. Like, I loved the structure of it, and also like the full cast of people. It just makes it so much more immersive. And there's even little sounds, especially when people are walking and opening the door, and you know, hearing a phone ring and whatnot. It's just really, really immersive, and I have to give it all its merits because it deserves it. It's a well thought out story. It's interesting. It keeps you on your pace, and it's intriguing, all these little details that are happening, and everybody that Sadie met on her journey, and what they played in the end, you know. But you know, this was good. I was looking to see if I can hear another audiobook, but on Scribd all my audiobooks have been roughly cancelled, so there's that. I did listen to 4 audiobooks. Was it 4? I listened to Sadie, I listened to Clap When You Land, I listened to The Black Flamingo, and I'm pretty sure I listened to another one. Oh, and The Poet X. So yeah, that's 4. So okay, I understand. I'm gonna read a few poetry books, but I'm gonna call it quits for this vlog so I can actually edit it. But I really enjoyed all the books that I read. All of them were amazing. You know, they were just really good reads. And hopefully this kind of vlog with just me updating you with the books, I hope you enjoy them. Maybe gonna start doing a little bit more like this. I just don't like recording myself when I'm reading. It's really hot, so if I look like I'm sweating, I am. So I apologize for that. But it's really hot here, and I don't have AC in my house. So yeah, I do want to turn on the AC in a few, but we're gonna see. But I'm gonna call it quits for this video. I hope that you like the format of just me updating you when I read every now and then. I will be doing another one, but I'm gonna take like a little bit of a break because I'm going to read one book that's for my indie author vlog, which is going to be coming up hopefully really soon, because well, maybe not that soon. I might have like another reading vlog in between, just because that one I have to physically read it. But we'll see. I don't know what I pick up, but I just want to say thank you for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful day and or night, and I'll see you in my next video. If you want to tell me which was your favorite read for the month of July, then feel free and tell me. I've had a lot of great reads, so I really can't pick one, but like emotional reads, ones that did impact me, definitely Clap When You Land, The Black Flamingo, and Sadie. I'm not going to mention The Poet X. That's one of my favorite books, but that was a reread for me. So I'm going to mention those 3 because those were just, they were magnifique. But yeah, I hope that you have an amazing day or night, and I'll see you next time. Peace.